Hello, good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Before we start the show, I just need, with much sadness, I need to inform everybody of the passing of one of our regular callers and one of the great characters of Rangers Radio. We're on George VK sadly passed away over the last 24 hours. George was one of our characters, as I said, made us laugh. We cried with George, and we always enjoys his company. He'll be sadly missed by everybody here on Rangers Radio, and we send all our love and all our thoughts to all his friends, family and loved ones. Thanks for the memories, George.
The time has come to say goodnight, for every road must end to the ones who care and are always there, our very special friends. Let's say goodnight to those we love and maybe shed a tear. But before we close, let's think of those we love who can be here. Let's raise a glass to absent friends, for every road must end. You'll always be there in our hearts, our special absent friends. And when it's time for us to go and our long journey ends, you'll never be alone, you see. You'll be with absent friends. So let's raise a glass to absent friends, for every road must end. You'll always be there in our hearts, our special absent friend.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio. This roller coaster season, tremendous up in the night is my two muckers, JFK and Bridgeman. Evening, boys.
Evening, Oxford. Evening, Bridge.
No, can I just say a sad night. Commiserations and R.I.P. George. Really sad. But can I just say also to all the Rangers fans all over the world, in particular Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
You're here. Just quickly, George, one of our characters, JFK.
Yeah, I've only spoken to him a couple of times personally, and he was a very humble guy, and all the time he'd come onto the radio, he brought a wee bit of sparkle to the convo and that, and he liked to laugh, and he'd a kind of dirty laugh, if that's the right word, you know. I think he enjoyed everything about Rangers and the company he was getting here, and he'll be sadly missed. And I'd just like to say, give my condolences to his family and friends, and he will be missed. Nice fella. Love to have met him, but only due chat. Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever forget the couch story, Bridgeman.
Yeah. One of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life. Ever. And it seemed to go on and on and on, didn't it? There was a new adventure every week.
Yeah.
Just to let people know, there'll be a parking space at Finiston for anybody who wants to
grab his parking space.
Yeah.
Oh, real character.
We enjoyed your time with us, George. Gone far too early. All the best. And all my thoughts to you and all your family. Right, okay. I'm sure George would agree with us. The show must go on. And, it's all right with you, JFK. We'll get the view for the bridge and then we'll get the show rolling.
Definitely. Yep.
Let's
Love
hear the view from the bridge.
Take it anymore. You found the bridge. Can't take
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to a view from the bridge from the game last night of Rangers versus Red Star Belgrade at Ibrox Stadium on Thursday, 10th of March, 2022. Europa League game, last 16. This was a tremendous game of football with both sides giving everything. One of the best and most exciting games of football I've seen at Ibrox. Absolutely staggering. The excitement in the crowd was infectious. The bouncy was brilliant, and I was in it every time. Magic. Red Star had scored 3 goals that looked okay to me initially, but they were flagged offside and confirmed offside by the VAR. Unbelievable stuff, you know. Thank you, VAR. Thank you. Rangers fought well and won a 3-0 victory, and our manager, GVB, was extremely happy. I was really pleased for him. Rangers fought well and won this result means that we are now in a position to hope that we can take a large step towards the Europa League quarter-finals. What would that be? Fabulous. I'm surely allowed to dream. Surely let me dream. The game. Both sides started well with an equal share of possession. Both played some good football. Red Star, a very skillful side, used the wide area as well. On 8 minutes, Kent picks up a ball on the left, close to the penalty box, and drives into the box. He's tripped by Srnic. Can you get that right there? The ref doesn't give anything initially, and Kent follows him up, complaining about being fouled in the area. VAR contact the ref, ask him to check the VAR films on the incident. He does, and awards a penalty to Rangers. Ibrox erupts. Oh, how they erupt. Great chance here for Rangers to get an early goal and the tie. Tav steps up and hits a beauty right into the postage stamp. 1-0 to the famous. Well done, Rangers. Well done, Tav and Kent. In 15 minutes, a corner for Rangers on the right, taken by Kent out to Jack. It crosses into the box where it's cleared by the defence, but only out to Amarelis. It's a low shot into the net on the right corner. 2-0 to the famous. Well done, Rangers. Well done, Alfie, Jack and Kent. Wonderful stuff. Well, the place was really, really rocking. On 23 minutes, Ryan Jack pulls back the Red Star player, Ivanic, back inside the box and gives away a penalty and receives a yellow card for his dodginess, deservedly so. Katai steps up, hits a low shot to his left. It's brilliant saved by McGregor. Ibrox absolutely erupts once again. Just magic. What a night. Half-time, Rangers 2, Red Star 0. Second half begins. No changes for Rangers at half-time. 51 minutes. Tav takes a corner on the right, high to the back post area, and Balogun meets it. Jumps high and meets it, and makes heads on a bullet header into the net. 3-0 to the famous. Brilliant goal, Balogun. Great corner, Tav. Great. Both sides fought until the final whistle. What a game this has been. Tremendous stuff. Full time 3-0 to Rangers. Player by player. Excuse me. Player ratings. McGregor 9, Tavernier 9, Goldson 8, Balogun 9, Bassey 8, Jack 8, Lundstrom 9, Kamara 8, Evo 8, Morelos 9, Kent 8. High scores. Match stats. Possession, Rangers 47, Red Star 53. Total shots, 13 for Rangers, 15 for Red Star. Shots on target, 8 for Rangers, 4 for Red Star. Corner, 6 for Rangers, 5 for Red Star. Fouls, 15 for Rangers, 21 for Red Star. And this is the end of A View from the Bridge.
Can't take it anymore. View from the bridge. Can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
Forgive me, Upset. I never said man of the match. My man of the match was multiple of them. I've given it to Balogun, but very closely followed by Tav, Morelos, McGregor, and Lundstrom. They were absolutely outstanding for me last night. Apologies to everyone.
Couldn't argue any of that. I would also throw Bassey into that mix as well, if I'm honest. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, I thought we did a great performance. But anyway, you'll hear enough from me. But JFK, your thoughts?
Well, your man summing up there was absolutely fantastic. My man of the match would have been Balogun as well. Alfie I thought was tremendous. Bassey as well. Probably the whole squad of players that participated in the game. You can't give any of them any less pass marks than an 8. It was a roller coaster of a game, to say the least. It was pants
Jimmy,
off, pants on.
You've seen 1 or 2 games over the years then,
Aye.
and that must be one of the strangest 3-0 games you've ever seen it.
Well, I was saying that the boys last night. I'm saying I cannot remember in my lifetime I've gone to see the Rangers or any game that there was 3 goals chalked off for offside like that. And I know it's VAR's got a big thing to thing me now, but no, I've never seen a game like it in my life, mate. And it kept the old heart. My heart's still working, so I know that because it was banging out my chest. And it was tremendous entertainment, mate. And a thoroughly deserved win. Really proud of the way the Rangers playing in Europe, and I just wanted to take that into the league and the cup and things like that. But it was a fantastic performance. Absolutely wonderful, mate. Wonderful.
I think one of the big differences is when we're breaking away, we're maybe going, we've got 4 players against 5. When in Scotland we're pushing forward, we've got 6 against 11, mate, when we get near the other team's goal, you know.
Well, that is what's happening. We've said it here for the last 2 or 3 seasons. It's when no, even if we're going away to play somebody away, I mean, even the sheep and things like that, no, they stick the 5 across the back. It's disgusting to watch, but it's up to us to try and break that down. These teams don't want to come out and play football because you know yourself, if anybody comes out and plays football against us, we can destroy them. And that's been proved in the past, and that was proved last night. That team came to win last night, and we destroyed them. Take the VAR away from it, we still destroyed them, mate. It was an absolutely fantastic performance, the way that they, not just on the ball, off the ball. Alfie was immense, coming the way he was coming. The whole team was so proud of the team. And I mean, it's not with you about.
We're not talking about VAR, and we are the people, has been mentioned. But what I've got to say is, fair shout out to the linesmen, both sides. They got all the decisions right, JFK.
He did get all the decisions right, aye. You know, I mean, sitting watching it in the telly, I can honestly put my hand up, and I was really worried. I was pants filled at that time. I'm thinking, there you go, as a goal, and then offside, as we know, and then it happened another twice after that. And if it wasn't for VAR, I've got to put my hands up and say, I thought if that was Scottish football, that'd have been 3 goals against Rangers. So VAR is there. It's good in its own way, but I know it thing with the Alfie goal that we get chalked off. But it's a fantastic result, mate. And you can't take anything away from us. And it was three definite offsides, but only when you see them in VAR. I know others have got other opinions and that they thought they saw it as offside at the time. That's everybody's opinion. But me watching it when I was watching it, I thought the 3 goals should have stood at that time.
They were all marginal, but they were offside, you know.
Yep, definitely.
As you well know, you're either pregnant or you're no.
Correct.
Shockers.
Aye, I actually thought that Glenn Kamara done a lot of work last night. I'm not saying he had his finest game, but I think he's grown into that role, Bridge, and he was making a lot of things happen with just getting his body in front of it, just making simple passes, nothing spectacular, but help keep the ball and recycle the ball back to the guys who pushed up with the forwards, go to the Morelos and kept the attacks going. But everybody was a hero last night, from the goalkeeper to the substitutes, Bridgeman.
Oh, 100%. 100%. It was what Jimmy was saying about thinking about being offside. I'm sitting there, there's 3 or 4 days there. We thought they were offside. Right, those ones. We thought they were offside, and then the flag never went up. The usual. We just thought, shit, we're not going to get the decision at all here. Or maybe I'm not seeing it right, but we definitely thought it was offside. And when the linesman put his flag up eventually, I thought that's great, because then of course they had to get VAR to confirm it all, and it was confirmed. And as Ox said just a minute ago, I take my hat off to all of the officials last night. They made that game. It was brilliant. And it was just non-stop entertainment for the fans. You really and truly, it was so exciting. And Ibrox has never been as loud as it was last night at times. Fantastic. And we're talking. I thought Kamara had another super game, but I noticed that he's playing a wee bit further forward.
Yes.
Yeah, so that brings hope, springs eternal. So that sounds very good. Let's hope he continues doing that, because it's letting him pick up things. And by goodness, he's putting some work. What a shift! What a shift! Brilliant.
Yes, I just want to change the subject quickly. I believe you and Mr. Skipper met up with a few tarts before the game, Bridge. Is this correct?
A few what?
Tarts?
Tarts? No, I don't think so. I'll tell you what you might have been told. I think Skipper bought tarts. Right? I thought it was what's edible tarts, right?
Right.
And they weren't for me. I think he bought them for a big Steve Drum.
Let's be honest about it. It's not the first time that Skipper's turned up at the bistro with a few tarts, is it?
That's the truth. Of various sizes as well, let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
What a shocker.
But I think he's trying to feed Big Stevie. That's a joke, mate. The big one, I'd rather keep him for a week than a fortnight, JFK.
Definitely.
I was saying to Skipper last night when he told me, I said, oh, well, Almost, don't say no, and I'll just ask Big Stevie, where are my tarts? You took my tarts off of me. But he walked up and tapped me in the shoulder and said, hey, you.
6 of the finest, old Skipper.
Aye, brilliant. Just brilliant.
And Jamba and Big Stevie enjoyed them, each and every one of them. I think Jamba got one. Back of 6. Right, okay. JFK, we'll hear from the manager and then we'll get the phone lines opened.
Definitely, mate, definitely.
All right, okay. Get yourself a mute and let's hear from our manager, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst.
Hi, Giovanni. Just wondering, how are all the players after last night's exertions all came through okay?
Well, physically, was a tough match, but we came in after the game. We have some concerns, with John Lundström. Some problems with his ankle, and we had to take Aribo off as well. So we are assessing them today and tomorrow to see if they are able to be involved on Sunday.
Does that give you a chance on Sunday to give some others a chance? I suppose Aaron Ramsey is one of the players that comes to the forefront, an unused sub in the last 2 games. Well,
we have a big squad, so eventually I will, see who's available for Sunday's match, and then also see the opponent, and then I'm going to decide which place to start, which game plan. But at the moment, it's still, the process is still going on. So when all the pieces are together, we will eventually make up a strong lineup, because we want to be in the semi-final after the game.
After a high like last night's game, how do you get the players' feet back on the ground and refocused and refreshed for the Sunday match?
Well, we have to rest well and recover well, because it's only 2 days. But I think their mindset of the players is fantastic. So, I don't have to say anything, because the players who play, they're in recovery modus today and even tomorrow as well. The other players, we trained with them today, had a good session. So eventually everyone has his own program, make sure that everyone is fresh on Sunday.
How pleasing is it for you as a coach to watch the players be able to swap out of different positions and formations so easily, so straightforwardly as they did last night?
Well, it's always good to see your players performing. We have we put a lot of time and energy in preparing the team, the players as well, with the training sessions, with the meetings, and so it's always good and nice to see when it all comes together in the game. And as we especially see in Europe, we had to adapt a lot of times to the opponent. Some players, they play different positions, but in the end, I think we're I think we're very pleased with the players at the moment, and I think it's the right way to go forward in this manner, and the way we've been playing tactically, but also I think our character the last games was really well, and it starts with that, and then if you have also the tactical awareness in games, then you have a high chance to win games.
Hi, Giovanni. Just on your reflections of last night's match, I just wonder what you think from your players in terms of what makes them find those extra steps, those extra gears when it comes to those Thursday nights, especially at Ibrox.
Well, I think it's not a specific one thing, but playing in Europe is always special. I felt always. Especially when I was a player to play, and as a manager I have the same, because you're gonna play against big teams. You play against teams from different countries. It's another podium for all of us, for the club as well. So and again yesterday at Ibrox, the atmosphere was fantastic. You can feel that on the pitch, and I think that we're performing really well at the moment in Europe, and so our aim is to go to Belgrade next week and try and work hard to be in the next round after the game. But I'm really pleased with the performance yesterday.
Just looking at the weekend and just looking about most games after Europe, how important is it not to allow the sort of levels to drop, not to ensure that there's no slip-ups from a Thursday to a Sunday? And will that maybe mean that you have to refresh some of the squad and just ensure that there is that, constant reminder that those levels have to be up there?
Yeah, well, it's repeating everything you've done, in your meetings. We're one game away from the semifinals, so a cup competition is very important because it's the quickest way to a major prize. It's been a while since we won a cup in recent years, so I think we have everything to play for on Sunday, and it's for us to park Europe and switch to the domestic cup, and but we're all preparing well for this game, and we have to be there on Sunday and make sure we go to the next round.
Last night you played Glenn Kamara in a fairly advanced role where he basically tied up two of their guys for most of the evening. Is that a tactic you'd like to employ more regularly, or did you play him like that specifically in response to how you thought Red Star would play?
Well, I think Glenn is very, very versatile. He's a very dynamic player. Like, he can play all positions on midfield, and so for me, it's a possibility to play him in that role. But it depends on the opponent, and so we have a lot of midfield players in our squad. So I can switch on midfield and play defensively strong. I can play really offensive midfield, balanced midfield. So I'm really happy with the strength and depth on midfield, because it gives me a lot of options to choose from, and so I think the role Kamara played yesterday, in combination with Ryan Jack and Lundstrom, but also with Aribo, I think worked really well. So yes, it's definitely a position he can play in the future as well.
It might sound a little bit strange after a 3-0 win, but I thought that Red Star are still a very dangerous side. They'd had 3 goals chopped off. They had a penalty. They hit the bar. When you're going to Belgrade next week, how are you going to approach that? Because I think there might be a natural overconfidence in having the 3-goal cushion, but obviously you've got to be wary that they don't get that early goal, which can make it a tie once again?
Yeah, it's as I said before, we're only halfway. We have the game still to be played next week in Belgrade. As I said, after the press conference, we could see the quality of Red Star yesterday. The 3-0 victory we are really happy with, but I didn't think it reflected the difference in level yesterday. It was much more even than the score would say. So we are preparing well for this game, and because we already played them, we know much better their strengths, their weaknesses, and I have a much better view of the opponent now, because you can see videos, you can see games, but once you played against them, you have a much better feeling about the opponent, which we had also when we played against Dortmund. So as I said, we're gonna work hard for Dundee, and on Monday we're gonna work hard for Red Star and make sure we are really well prepared for everything that will come our way next week, because it's going to be, I think, a same game, with a great environment. But now, of course, we're playing away, so we have to be ready.
Hi, Giovanni. I wanted to ask about the Europa League in general. Obviously, yourself as a player, you know what it's like to go and win tournaments. You've won some of football's biggest prizes. How far do you think this group can go? Because from the outside looking in, obviously last night was another fantastic occasion at Ibrox. The confidence and belief just seems really high.
Yeah, well, it gives you a lot of, positiveness, the game, because we had a great result to take with us to Belgrade. It's we're at a stage where there are very strong opponents left in the tournament, and it's still far away, the final. There's a lot of games to be played still. And, for me, the most important thing when you're in Europe, you have to be, every game you play, every tie, you have to be there. One slip up of one night where we aren't there, that can cost you, your next round. So you really have to take it game by game and make sure every game we play from now on in Europe, we have to be 100% focused. We have to be ready physically. We have to be dynamic. It's playing in Europe. It takes a lot of energy, a lot of thinking, a lot of decisions you have to make in split seconds as a player. So the most important thing is when we are there next week and we reach our level and the way of playing, we have a big chance to go to the next round. But, any team now left in this tournament can win it in the end. So we just make sure, the team who will win it is mostly the team who played all the games, on a high level and don't make mistakes. But as I said, next week is another goal for us, and we are doing everything to go to the next round.
And just finally, there was no Scott Arfield in the squad yesterday. Just wondered how he is, if you've got any update on him. Is it injury related to his absence?
Well, he's unavailable. So hopefully we will see Scott back on the training pitch in the next few days. So I think we will be available for the game again on Thursday against Red Star.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
One out, one in. Scotty Arfield, but obviously John Lundstrom, Ryan Jack, all concerns. Joe Aribo as well, but we'll need to see. Maybe suit us to have a couple of injuries to get us a couple of people rest, JFK.
I would think so. I mean, obviously we've got to be respectful of Dundee, because I know where they're sitting in the league, but we should have enough personnel in the full squad to chop and change a few things, to rest players. But look, we can't rest them on laurels here. We can't think that the game's done for next Thursday. There's still a lot of work to be done, so we can't rest too many players. But at the same time, we're going for a cup here as well. Scottish Cup and the Europa Cup. So no, I can see him 3 or 4 maybe sitting on the bench, change it a bit. Maybe give Sakala a start and put Alfie on the bench for maybe the first. No, just there's different things a manager can do, But I think we'll get the personnel thing. I'd like to see Scotty Arfield come back again. I think
he just said he's injured, mate. He'll be playing.
He just said he's injured. That's what I'm saying. I'd like to see him come back before the end of the season. I mean, there's only 8 games.
He'll be back. He says he'll be in the squad for Thursday. Yeah.
Well, that's good. I wasn't listening to that properly. So, I mean, we've got that enough. We've saw the squads that we've got in the last few weeks and the subs that we've got, and even guys that are not even getting a game. So I saw an article there about it, and he's not even in the running now. So which I'm not surprised about. So we've got a good enough squad Ox here to deal with teams like Dundee, but we can't take them for granted because we know what's happened in the past coming back for Europe. It's a banana skin, so let's go and take care of it right away.
Just win the game, Bridgeman, and get through to the semi-final. That's all it's about, yeah?
Absolutely, buddy. Absolutely. And every game, from now to the end of the season, I've said that about 3/4 of the way through the season, every single game, we've got to win. We've just got to win. And by the way, that performance for the good team last night, they need to grab some of that energy that they had. And they're get stuck in and so that kind of stuff, Because they were no mugs. That team were no mugs last night, and they could put the boot in as they did a number of times. And they had, apart from Alfie, I think Alfie was the only one that didn't get injured after him because he maybe hit them harder. But he did a couple of times, in fact. And so we have to watch out for that. And in Dundee at the weekend, we can expect a bit of rough stuff as well. That's for sure. On their wonderful park too.
Aye, I think that's the thing as well. The state of the park is, I know it's the same for both teams, but it's a leveler, JFK.
Of course it's a leveler, mate. I mean, we saw what happened last week, how it sapped the players' legs. So, I mean, it was a hard game last night, and the players will be feeling the tiredness. But when you play in a part like that, it's an absolute dung heap, mate. So taking that into consideration, a win's a win. That's all we can hope for, a win. But as I've said here before, I mean, we have a laugh at Bridgeman every other week, he always says 1-0. But look, we win 1-0, and we have a Bridgeman every single game at the end of the season in the league. Then that's yours, mate. Championship's yours. So, yeah, a win's most important. Entertainment secondary at this time of the season. I know we all like to be entertained, but a win is most important than anything, and entertainment for me comes after that.
Right, what a final of the cup. It's all about getting through. I'll be interested to see where the team is, what the team's going to be. But do you want to have a stab at it, JFK? Just put it out there, but you would go with?
I would probably would I drop Tavernier? I'd only maybe drop Tavernier because I mean his wife's just a wee kiddie there. So I mean Bim brings Zakowski in for Tavernier, still keep Goldson, Bassey, Barisic, then in the middle. I'm saying it, Arfield will not be ready for Sunday, then it'll be Thursday. I'll probably keep the same middle three, mate. But up front, I would probably.
Did you listen to the gaffers?
I was trying to fix the dog there. He was trying to scratch the door to get into the room, mate. So I was listening to that. Deal with the dog.
Call. Don't be a stranger. We'll speak to you soon. All right?
I beg your pardon. My apologies for that.
Well, he's telling you who was injured, right? And he mentioned a few midfield players, yeah?
Right, sorry about that.
Right, okay.
I'll just sit here in the corner.
Aye, away. Right, Mr. Bridgeman, we'll forget about GFK's team. He's on the naughty step, right?
Aye. But I'm just a bit as dated as when it comes to that as well. Let me tell you, I can't remember what he said. However, I'll go for.
I've got one no listening and one got Alzheimer's. What chance have I got in the radio?
You're all right. You don't need to look at me. I think that
he intimated Aribo and obviously John Lundstrom. Yeah.
He was worried about them.
Yeah, he was worried about him. Yeah.
I did hear that, but
I picked him anyway. He says. No, I would rest the goalkeeper, McGregor.
So would I actually. Yeah.
I'd rest him. I would put the young Polish chap into the right back position.
I wouldn't.
I'd put him in there. And I would do what Jimmy says there. I'd keep Goldson and move Bassey in one. Or if we got a young centre half, that boy King.
No for me. It's a quarter final of the Scottish Cup.
Yes, I know what it is. But is that young boy King was he a centre half?
Yes.
yeah.
So I would get Bassey moved in, and if Barisic is fit, play him.
He was on the bench last night, so aye, okay. Midfield.
Midfield, I'd bring in our famous Aaron. What's his name? Ramsey.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be playing. Boy James.
Who?
James, boy played last night.
Sands.
James Sands, isn't it? James Sands? Doesn't matter. Anyway, so I'd play him. So I play the boy Sands. I thought he'd play I want to come on. And I would certainly think about name escapes me right at this moment.
I don't think you two are taking this show very seriously.
Right, listen, right, my team would be McGregor, Zakowski, Goldson, Balogun, Barisic. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I would give the boy Sands a game. I would rest Alfie, and I would put Kamara up there, and I would put Scott Wright up there as well. And I would probably play Ramsey as well. That'd be the team I would pick. That's an 11.
All right, I'll give you my team before we move on. I would have McLaughlin in goal, Tavernier, Goldson, Bassey, Barisic, Kamara, and if Ryan Jack's fit, it would be Ryan Jack. The boy Sands on the bench, and then in front of him I'd have Aaron Ramsey, Kent, Sakala, and I'd start with Alfie. But I would maybe consider that you swap him for Roof GFK, like you said, yeah?
Aye, it'd be either or for me. Roof first half, Alfie second half, or vice versa, mate. But I'd definitely give Roof 45 minutes, just to give Alfie's legs a wee rest. But Alfie will probably tell you he wants to play every game, like most players do. I think the game against Dundee, I think the team that will walk him across here, I think we've got more than enough personnel there to deal with it, injuries sustained or whatever. So, I'm quite happy with some of the teams. But
I think you're right, JFK. I think you're right with Alfie. I think Alfie would be desperate to play. He wants to get his points up, with the goals. He wants to get goal scoring up. Right, Jay, hasn't he done it over the last few years?
Hello.
Oops. Oh. Hello, how we doing?
How we doing, Ox? Yeah, all right, mate.
All right, John. How are you, mate?
I thought I would make it 2 in a row, mate. That was all.
Run yourself up.
What's on your mind, John?
I'm just giving you a wee phone, mate. First time I phoned you was last Friday. I was called a virgin.
Well, aye. Well, it happens to us all at some time, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, mate. You've got to break your duck at some point.
Yeah, here. It takes some people longer than others. Is that right, JFK?
Especially when you can't remember what to do. You get to that age, mate.
What's on your mind, John? What's on your mind?
Well, I'm John from Bellshill. I phoned you last Friday night, so I thought I'd phone you this Friday. No, I'm just phoning to say last night was another incredible night. European night under lights at Ibrox. It's second to none, guys. And I mean, it was an unbelievable night again. The performance, the result. I would have bet your horn off for 1-0 before the game. But to win 3-0 last night, I mean, we've got 1 foot in the quarterfinals, guys, and I've just got a feeling like 2008, it's coming all over again, guys.
Wow.
Yeah,
we can dream. JFK, and you come, mate.
How you doing, John? Of course we can dream. Look, we're in it to win it, and we proved all the doubters wrong. And yeah, I mean, should we fear anybody, even Barcelona? No, we shouldn't. I still don't buy into the fact that Barcelona are suddenly saying they're a poor team and like to get them in the next round. I'd like to get Barcelona in the final if they get through against Galatasaray. But we're in it to win it, Oxy, as John says. And you can see shades of 2008 when we got to the final in Manchester, the wonderful final. But yeah, we can only live in hope, mate. I'm not going to put it out there what would I rather win, that one or the league. I want to win everything that Rangers play in, but our bread and butter's the league, and we need to take care of business there in the next few weeks, mate, as well.
John, the team just seem to find another level on these European nights, as you said, under the lights.
Under the lights, Oxshare. Us in Europe, Rangers, the most famous team in the world as far as I'm concerned. I actually think that we've got a better chance of winning the Europa League than we have winning the league. And that's my honest opinion.
Wow, bold statement. By the way, you maybe come up with a theory why we never beat Malmo. Maybe it was too bright a night.
Well,
it was under the lights. But anyway, well, that's a bold statement, Bridgeman. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, pal. And John's right, and that's his opinion. That's his opinion.
Aye.
Personally, I think Rangers should be. I have to say this: we should be going for everything.
Yeah,
we should be going for everything. The manager's building a huge squad, and he's trying to pick and choose what he can do and how he's going to do it. And it's really tough, particularly these European nights. We're not playing any mugs. I haven't played any mugs the last round. We're not playing any mugs this round. We're fortunate we've got a 3-goal lead. And you watched these guys who can shoot for 30 yards and bust skidding off the bit of the bar. These guys are no fools. They can take care of themselves when they're in their own ground. They'll be even worse. So Rangers have got a huge task ahead of them. They need to be able to go and fight, get cool and calm whenever they're doing it. Just hold the ball. Just hold the ball. When if they've not got it, they can't hurt us. That's the way I look at it anyway.
If I could come back in there, Bridgeman, the way I'm looking at it, right, we're 5 games away to the Europa League Cup final. We're 8 games away to winning the league. So it's easier for us to win the Europa League than it is to win the league. And I honestly think I've got a good feeling about it, guys. And I really think we are the people. Penalty to Rangers.
I love it, pal.
Right? We've got honest referees in Europe, and we've got VAR if there are no honest referees in Europe. And I was in Manchester in 2008 in the stadium, and I know you all know this. This is our 50th year for we won in 1972. And I think this is your year again. I honestly think that we can do this. If we get a bit of luck with the draw, and we've got honest referees and good decisions gone our way. We had Dortmund away, VAR, penalty, Rangers. Nobody seen it. I'm talking about Dortmund away. Nobody seen that handball. VAR, penalty. At Ibrox, VAR, penalty. Last night, VAR, penalty. And I'm not saying that it was biased, because all the decisions that were made were the correct decisions. Decisions that we're not getting in the Scottish Premiership.
And
I'm not.
Good point.
And
mate.
I'll be honest, Oxshare, right? We should be good enough in the Scottish Premiership to overcome these bad decisions that we're getting, right? Because we should be wiping the floor with these teams. But for whatever reason we're no. But in Europe, we are a different animal. we're a different beast altogether. Since
Well
Gerrard
said.
came in, that's 3 years in a row we've reached the last 16, and I don't fear anybody and left in this Europa League.
Well said, John. Just to let you know, Bridge was at Nuremberg, and I don't mean the final in '67. I mean the trials originally. He was a Dortmund.
I think I have to honestly say, the thing that it's going to beat us in the Scottish League is if we don't score our own goals, they're not going to allow us to score goals. If you don't get the good goals, long range efforts, nobody's got anything they can say about it. If it's wee short passes in the box, then people are going to block it and take the man with them, and we're not going to get in with it. That's what I see, and there's loads of other boys see the same thing. We're going to get cheated out of any opportunity of winning this league. That's the way I see it. However,
all right. Who's Sean for you last night, John?
Oh, let's be honest, right? John Lundstrom. Let's be honest, right? See if the guy had left in January, none of us would have batted an eyelid. I'd have been quite happy to see that guy leave in January. I didn't think he was going to cut the mustard. But since January, this guy is playing, he's playing a number 8, he's playing a number 6, he's playing a number 4. He's all over the park. And I actually feel quite sorry for him, because I think what Giovanni Van Bronckhorst is doing with the guy we're putting him, 1 minute he's in the middle of the park, then he's asked to be the box-to-box midfielder. Then against Motherwell, he was played as an out-and-out centre-half, not even in the middle of the park, an out-and-out centre-half. And the boy left him for dead for the first goal, where it was cut across. John Lundstrom done his best, tracking back. And I think the Rangers fans, we're now beginning to see the player that we all thought we were getting. Because when we first signed him, we all knew the boy was the boy's a player. I mean, let's not make any mistake about it. But I don't think the management team, including Gerrard, I'll go back to Gerrard even, has done him any favours. And I think the boy last night, and against Dortmund, and against Hearts, I'm going back quite a few games. It was I'm talking about the one where he scored the goal against Hearts, outside the box, curled it right in.
I think that was October.
Aye, so I'm going back quite a few months. Even back in October, the 5 games that he played, I think the boy was man of the match in the 5 games. And then he was dropped. And then he's been brought back in.
Cheers for that, but I think JFK, that Giovanni was a guy who played left back, left midfield, centre midfield, played in front of the strikers as well. So he's a guy that maybe looked for his players to be as flexible, mate.
Aye. What John said there about Lundstrom, Nene's would have batted an eyelid. We were all quite critical of Lundstrom and that, but he certainly has come onto a game, and that's maybe down to the manager is a wee word in his ear. So he's looking for players, because he did it. Be versatile, play anywhere on that left or anywhere on the right, whatever your position may be. So Giovanni's done that, and he's selling his time at Rangers and other clubs, so especially Barcelona. So I think that's rubbing off on a lot of the players, and we can see the style that Giovanni wants to play, and it's shown fruition, mate, now. So
all right, we've also been Blue Star. Evening, Blue Star.
Evening, Ox. Evening, JFK and Bridge. I had a different point until I heard you playing Gio's presser, Ox, and I was quite taken aback. He answered everything straight on, apart from Ramsey. He utterly deflected it, didn't even mention the guy's name. Now, the obvious question for the guy who was asking the question was about Aaron Ramsey. obviously we all know that he was on the bench the other night. Therefore, the last 2 nights he was on the bench. So we think he's reasonably fit, as we've already said, as we've all said on the programme. When he was asked today, he totally deflected it. Didn't mention his name at all. Do you think there's a problem there?
No, not at all.
Well, I heard you saying you would have had him in.
Wait a minute, John. Just wait, John. We'll bring you in, mate. Yeah.
I heard you saying there when you were asking what you thought the guy's team would have been, and I heard you saying exactly what I would have said. You would have had him in along with Jack. I've got to say, he took us all aback the last few pressers that he did there, when he was telling you, especially in the other games where he told you the day before that he wouldn't be playing or he was on the bench. He was giving the opponents prior knowledge as to what his thoughts were, so to speak. Whereas the day when he was asked the question, he answered everything, but when it came to Ramsey, he utterly deflected it and didn't even mention the guy's name. I've got to be truthful. I would have had him in the team along with you, as you said, with Jack, etc., because obviously he did mention Lindstrom, Aribo, there was problems there. So we would think he would need to change it up a bit. Going with what he said on that presser, there's definitely something wrong there. Absolutely, no doubt about it.
I can't ask Bridgeman because he never listened. And
I know that, mate.
Bridgeman never listened to it. So I can't ask any of the two. No, I never took that at all, mate. I just took the fact that he wants to talk about the guys that were playing last night and he wants to move forward. Told you who's fit, and then he'll announce the team on Sunday. I never read that much into it.
I never read much into it either. That's the truth.
You know, but listen, you might be right. Everybody reads things different. And you come, John.
I would like to say, Oxy, right? I'm not being cheeky here, right? But who cares? Aaron Ramsey has not been in the team since he came to Ibrox. Let's be honest. I'm not expecting him to be in the team going forward. So we have put out Dortmund, done Dortmund in their own back garden, and done them at Ibrox. We should have beat them at Ibrox through. I know I love VAR, but VAR chalked off Ryan Kent's goal, which should never have been. So I would like Oyes just to stop talking, really, about Aaron Ramsey. I don't think he's going to cut the mustard. I don't think he's really going to contribute to what we need today. But we've had some of the best results in our club's history. And I'm talking about Dortmund in particular, and even last night against Red Star Belgrade. But Aaron Ramsey was nowhere near any of the games, and we still done the business. So,
did he not come on the park against Dortmund?
He did come on the park against Dortmund for like 6 minutes, 8 minutes, right? But that was it. If you're telling me Bridgeman, now I like you, Bridgeman, because I like a 1-0, but
I like a 5-0, but I don't get him all the time.
He's done nothing. He has done nothing.
No, he hasn't done nothing.
He's done absolutely nothing.
That doesn't mean he can't do something in the future, JFK, does it?
Absolutely.
I agree with you.
I'm not
John,
counting on him.
Let the boys come in.
I'm not counting on him.
John, let the boys come in.
I agree with John to a point there. It's not a topic of conversation that I feel that is necessary. And the fact is, I mean, the team's playing the way they are without Ramsey. We were all buoyant when he came in. So the best signing since Gaza and Laudrup only as name only for me.
Never.
No, in name only, John. Let me finish. In name only, I said, but because he's what you call a marquee name, but he'd never lace Gaza or Brian Laudrup's boots. But we were all, this is our marquee signing. But he doesn't seem to be going to be playing any part. So there's not much a conversation piece for me. If he appears, he appears. I'm quite happy the way the team's playing just now. So,
Mr. Anyhow, JFK.
John, have you got a puffer on you?
I have got a puffer on me. How do you hear that?
Going to go on mute because we don't want to hear you puffing away, mate, yeah?
I apologise. Sorry,
it's all right, mate. You wouldn't know that, yeah? Yeah, I thought
okay, I'll keep it quiet.
Heavy breathing again.
I've only got the heavy breathing when Alex on the phone for Wisher, because that's my number one fan.
All right, just go and mute with your phone when you're having a puff, no problem. Right, aye. But Star, I mean, Ramsey is an enigma. He's done nothing for us, let's be honest about it. He's maybe unlucky, people will say. We've took a punt. He got a knock against Dortmund, been out for a few weeks. He's been back on the bench last couple of games, now we got in the park. So we'll see where that takes us. Will he play on Sunday? I think he'll have some part in the game, mate.
That was my point. If he's on the bench, then we've been talking about it for the last 3-4 weeks, irrespective of what John thought. The bottom line is, if he's on the bench, then he's fit enough to play. If he's not fit enough to play, then he wouldn't be on the bench. We've been arguing for the last 3, 4, 5, 6 games why our manager wasn't making substitutions. Last night, again, Lundstrom, for a good whack of the second half, was done in. In fact, so much so that he was limping when he was walking, as was Aribo. I don't want to see the players, as you've just said, Lundstrom's been playing in different positions. I don't want to see them getting cropped. So by that, we've got to make substitutions. We're playing against a team in Dundee that's bottom of our league. Yes, it'll be hard because it's still a cup game. They're one half. So he's obviously got to change it up because Lundstrom and Aribo are carrying knocks. So therefore, if Ramsey's on the bench, then I do, without a shadow of a doubt, I want to see what the guy can contribute, if anything. I maintain that if he's 70% fit, I don't care what anybody thinks. My opinion is he's got more talent than most of your squad put together. If he's fit, and if he's on the bench, then he should be fit. That's my point. I would like to see if he can do what he can do.
That's whether, you're right, he had more talent in your squad, but whether that ship sailed, you never know, Bridgeman.
Absolutely, but he's got to play, Ox. He's got to get a chance if he's fit.
Star. Your name's Blue Star. You should know better, Bridgeman.
Yeah, look, the boy's not proved anything, and he's causing the fans to think there's something not right for going on with the club and him. That's what they're thinking. The manager, what's the manager doing, putting him in the squad? If you thought, you know what I mean? Why is he in the squad? If he's not fit, can't he just sit him on the bench all the time and then no play him? I don't understand what's going on. And a lot of other Rangers fans are the same. I want the boy to come. I wanted the boy to come here, and I think he's a fabulous player. And we need to see that he's a fabulous player. And I don't know how we're going to do it, but surely he's not going to be an enigma. Surely.
Well, you never know. Anyway, it's that time of the evening. If you don't mind getting yourself in mute, because we're going to have a tune.
How many years ago, my boys, I left the Glasgow town. I followed the pull of the Yankee land and here have settled down. Although I meant no Bridgeton Cross and my friends so near and dear, but I would give if I could have the Rangers over here. Singing talk of California where the sun shines all the year. Singing Bama about your Broadway light so clear. But it would fill my heart with gladness, it would fill my heart with cheer, if we only had the Rangers over here. For they're the finest team in all the land, and I'm sure that you'll agree. To see them win is something grand, it's part of history. For the boys who fear no noise, my lads, and I mean this quite sincere. What I would give if I could have the Rangers over here. Singing Buck of California where the sun shines all the year. Singing Bum about your Broadway life so clear. But it would fill my heart with gladness, it would fill my heart with cheer, and we only had the Rangers over here. sure that you'll agree. To see them win is something grand, it's part of history. Where the boys who fear no night, my lads, and I mean this quite sincere. What I would give if I could have the Rangers over here. You can talk of California where the sun shines all the year. You can bomb my Banter Road where life's so clear. But it would fill my heart with sadness, it would fill my heart with cheer. If we only had the Rangers over here. If we only had the Rangers over here. If we only had the Rangers over here.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Once again, for everybody here at Rangers Radio, the sad news today that we lost one of our own regular callers and one of the big characters of Rangers Radio, George VK. So again, RIP George, and respect and thoughts for everybody here at Rangers Radio to all your loved ones, George. You'll never be forgotten in this wee Rangers Radio station.
Yeah.
Aye, well, listen, I think I get your point, boy, Stan. I don't know, you might have just took it differently from me, but if Ramsey comes into the team and he does well, he's an asset. If he doesn't get in the team, it's all about the players that's on the pitch. When you're sitting in the stand, sitting in the dugout and you don't go in, it's about 11, 13, 15 at play. And at the moment, Aaron Ramsey isn't part of that. So we just
absolutely
we have to deal with the kid before. I was shouting to get him on last night. I would have took, with 10 minutes to go, I'd have took Kent, Kamara or Morelos half and put on Wright and Ramsey just for fresh legs. Yeah,
absolutely, mate, and that's why I said that, because you could certainly see with Aribo and Lundstrom. I mean, Lundstrom, I can't mind when he got that knock, but it was early in the second half. The guy was hobbling, and I'm saying to myself, you didn't want to see the guy. The guy's been playing well, so you didn't want to see him getting off with a right badging. That was all,
Mm-hmm. Talking about right badgings, we've been joined by Alex Kelly. Evening, Alex.
What an introduction. Good evening, boys.
Evening, Alex.
Hi, Bluestar. Listen,
Evening,
evening, Bridgeman. Just wanted to pass my condolences on to George Fitzgerald's family tonight. We obviously didn't get to meet him, but you kind of got to know the character of George, and he gave us so many moments of laughter on this show. So devastating news for him and his family, and what's going to them.
Yeah, we'll say that. What's on your mind apart from that, mate?
The game last night, brilliant. What a performance, as you say. I mean, it was a great summary with Bridgeman earlier. It was harder to pick out who didn't play well last night, and we've barely seen that this season. The levels, that's the levels that we're looking for. See if they can produce the levels for now to the end of the season. That we've got every chance. It's just about exerting pressure back onto Celtic. I think it's still dreamland right enough if we're going on to win this Europa. I think the way finances are orchestrated across Europe, you're up against teams with £500 million teams and all that, and we're not meant to get this far in European competition. So we've just got to ride the crest of the wave and see how far we go.
Enjoy it.
Domestic honours that we win. We need to start winning trophies in Scotland and prove who the daddy is.
Aye, I'm sure we'll get the whole international break to debate that, mate, whether you'd rather win a League Cup or get to the last 8 in Europe with the prestige and the revenue. But we've got a couple of weeks to chew the fat out of that. Who's shone for you last night, Alex?
For me, my man of the match was Alan McGregor. I thought his penalty save was instrumental in changing the course of the game. They were a dangerous team, as we've seen, and you're talking fine lines here with VAR, whether it was a good goal or whether it wasn't. But obviously the VAR proved to be decisive for us. But I told you that a wee while ago, my man Lundstrom, he's been instrumental in that midfield. Him and Ryan Jack have been superb together. And Gio is using these tactics brilliantly to go in and solidify the defence and also orchestrate attacks, because the two of them a Ryan Kent, a Rebo, Morelos, run forward. We're attacking numbers, but we look solid in defence when Lundstrom drops in there.
Okay. Can I say, and I'll take this from the panel and start with JFK. When you put Lundstrom in there, they were coming down their left between Golston and Tav. That was the danger was coming. So he sort of pushed Lundstrom across in there. Connor Golston moves about 5 to 10 yards further to the right, and we sort of solidified there. But he was bold enough, JFK, in the second half, he switched it back again, and we played really well for the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, you could see that. It was as a masterclass with the gaffer. And that's what we've said about him, about changing the game mid-game, being able to do that. And he done it against Dortmund, sure, in the second half. And for him to do that shows you that he's confident in the players that he's putting on the park to work in the areas, that they can move across the park or go forward a bit more or come a bit deeper and keep that position. And that worked for 20 minutes. We were absolutely fantastic in that second half. The first half we were immense. But he's getting the best out of us. Lundstrom, for me, is a different player. I mean, the guy John earlier on said, no, but Nainies would have bothered 2 hoots if Lundstrom had left, because everybody was critical. Well, I know you weren't, AK. But forgot you were there. I thought you were lurking in the corner.
JFK, just let me come across you. Even a broken clock is right twice a day, right?
Well, that's very, very true, mate.
That's shocking, by the way. That's shocking.
I totally agree with you.
And if your Leeds is writing that one down as we speak.
The lights are on.
On you go, Alex.
I'm saying, Andy, the lights are on, but they're nobody home with him.
See, the guy for me last night that made some difference. See, Tav, just as you said there, as what Gio was kind of tweeting thing about moving Lundstrom across. You were bang on when you said that they were moving into the space on that side. But see, once he had sorted it, see for last night, honestly, I like Kent in that. The start of the second half and the first half, some of his runs was amazing, but I thought Tav's driving last night, he really did drive the team on. I thought he's running in that second half, especially when some of them did get a bit tired. Tav's energy levels.
One day, Blue Star, one day the boy will get the credit he deserves.
Oh, definitely. I mean, his drive, his energy last night, honestly, that boy has some energy levels. Absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, I've got him as one of my man of the match. I'll get 5 of them. I'm very happy with all of them. And that could have been I thought he was excellent, Tav, and I didn't think Glenn Kamara was man of the match, but I thought he'd done a lot of sort of dirty stuff and got himself in front of people, knocked it back, won the ball, made things happen for us. Maybe he's grown into that position. Maybe the couple of weeks out the team done him well. Bridgeman? Yeah, absolutely. And look, as we're talking about the manager, it is, by the way, fabulous the way he's changing the system. It's wonderful to see. Although I loved Steven Gerrard, he never tweaked the system during a game. He just didn't do it. But wait till brings in a sub, and even then he hardly changed it. But you watch the way our team's been playing in Europe anyway, and the manager's changing things on the hoof. And I think that's wonderful. And you see Tav's maybe not going up high enough, or he's way too high. Next thing you know, he's pushed back or he's pushed up. And it's just great to watch. He put some amount of crosses in last night that were a big improvement on the ones he's been doing for when they were playing in the league. Sometimes he struggles. But last night, just wonderful to watch. Seriously. Oh, come on, Rangers.
Yeah.
Oh, see the one Aribo headed off the line. See if you watch that back, mate, it's a cracker. You see Tav and McGregor turning. Tav's head actually goes down, and so does McGregor's. They actually think it's a goal. And they obviously weren't expecting Aribo to be on his line. And they turn round and you see McGregor going like with his fist, and he does everything but clap him in the jaws. he was overjoyed because Aribo was there. Aribo to be there at that precise moment, that was a bit of genius, because that was a goal.
See,
And the very fact...
Big Aribo, Boster, see, even when he's not playing well, he gives us something in both boxes, mate.
Oh, definitely. And I tell you, what I probably haven't given him enough credit for sometimes. See the size of the guy. Oh, see, even for him, he done that ball off the line. He's a big bite of a guy, you know, and he gets his legs in places where other guys just wouldn't be able to put them. He's a big guy, but
that reminds me of the time I threw you in that taxi, but that's another story, right?
Well, that's another story, aye. But no, a whole load of them. The only thing I would say in Kamara, Ox, I thought it was great, but I thought his final ball, whenever he did go forward, there was a couple of times he didn't know really where to punch it through to, if you know what I mean. But certainly for energy levels, you could see, as you said, maybe they couple of games out, that's given him all the spur he needed again to drive on. But Tab's driving of the team last night was absolutely second to none. It really was.
Yeah, you get yourself to mute, lads. We've got a wee ditty for you.
Hi, I'm Port Bear from Rangers Radio.
Hi, I'm GB from Rangers Radio.
As part of our club's 150-year celebration, Rangers Radio are holding a charity race night on the 26th of March 2022.
Thanks to everyone who has contributed so far. There are still opportunities for businesses, supporters clubs and individuals to place advertisements within the event programme.
Listeners, including those unable to attend, can purchase tickets online for the Super 6 Race Booze Cruise. To win a super selection of spirits provided by the Rangers Radio panellists, visit www.shop.rangersradio.online.
All Super 6 races will be screened live on Facebook.
To become involved as a horse owner, minimum donation of £30 can be paid at www.shop.rangersradio.online.
Each sponsor and prizes will be announced. All monies raised will go to Emmy Smiley Charity Foundation, the Rangers Supporters Erskine Appeal and the Robert Mulholland Memorial Parade.
To take part in the Super 6 Challenge, donate £5 to win a great selection of spirits, and you can also, for £30, become a horse race owner in one of our first 7 races, with each race having superb prizes. So please visit www.shop.rangersradio.online and give generously.
Thanks for that, lads. Just to announce some of the prizes, some of the races in race 1. If they just stick with that, it's the Rangers, it's the Ibrox Glasgow Rangers Blue Sea of Ibrox Mirror, which is retailing at £299. Also a trip on the Founders Trail for 2, and a bespoke Rangers Radio unique fire extinguisher that has been made for us and given to us to put in as a prize. It would be great in any Rangers man cave. We'll get all the pictures, we'll start posting them online. That's just an example of some of the prizes. We'll get them all announced ASAP, and you're welcome to buy horses at shop.rangersradio.online. Come and join us, take part. And again, we've announced the passing of one of our own, George VK, and it was these 6 letters that got him, and the Emmy Smiley Foundation does a lot of work to fight cancer. Anything you can give will be gratefully received. JFK
here.
Yeah, it's a really good cause. Get yourselves donating as much as you can. Really, really good night it should be. I'll be there. Remember, when you come to the night, the guy that looks like Tom Cruise is not me. So I look forward to seeing you all in the night. I'm not going to say. I was going to say on my table's a guy who looks like Shrek, but I need to be careful what one I pick. No, but no seriousness. But no seriousness. The three things that are going to be benefiting for it, absolutely fantastic. The Emmy Smiley, and obviously the Rangers supporters, Erskine Appeal, and obviously the Robert Mulholland Parade. Absolutely wonderful. I've saw a lot of the prizes, the pictures and all that, and I can assure you they're worth bidding for or raffling or whatever, and it should be a fantastic night. And I really look forward to meeting a lot of you guys and gals who have managed to get a ticket for that night. But if you don't get there, remember you can still watch.
We've been joined by Big Al. on Facebook. Yep. How we doing, Big Al?
Yeah, I'm good. I'd just like to give my condolences to George's family.
Well said.
I don't know much to say, but he certainly brought a smile to my face, and I have been wondering the past maybe 4 or 5 weeks. I've not heard his dulcet tones. So George and his family and his laddie, I'm sorry to hear you're passing, mate. I hope the family's okay and that. Really, I'm a bit touched with that. A guy I never met. I thought I was going to meet him one day because I did say I was going up to. If I got back, I'd go up to East Kilbride. Maybe Saturday had a chat with him. And that, remember, I think he had the bordello as a living room. Was that not? We discussed that one day with him.
Mate, I think he'd everything in that living room.
Aye. You know, he brings a smile to your face, man. Yeah. And I was just saying to Southside there, I says, maybe one of the characters as well, after 5 minutes, I better get out of here or I could be in trouble. So I hope his family's all right, and I don't mean to be rude, but I'm going to miss him. He's one of our own, and he wasn't the one I thought. He's not one of the people you think would be taken away from you. So, all the best, George. He made us. Some crack, man. Some crack. Remember with that kid on Girlfriend the other and all that, throwing stuff out the window and everything.
Couch and the steak.
The couch of steak pie, man. Aye. Brilliant. Well, anyways, I hope he's got a big steak pie and he's sitting on a couch somewhere looking down and laughing at us all the night, man. God bless you, mate. God bless you. Anyway, back to the mighty Glasgow Rangers. I always thought it'd be you that Matthias gone first. Does that make sense?
Why me?
I just always thought it would have been. I would have shed a tear for you as well.
Is there a reason for that?
Yeah. They always take the good ones first. They always take the good ones first, they say, don't they?
I love it.
Back to the mighty Glasgow Rangers. Great result last night. What can I say? I caught bits and bobs of the game because I'm struggling to try and watch it when I get home for work. I think moving forward, I think we've got a good chance. It'll be a hard game for us in the next game. I think they'll make it difficult for us because they did show they can put the ball in the back of the net, whether it's offside or not. They still can get into positions to put it in the back of the net. So I think we have to be right on the ball for the next game, the return game. And in regards to some of the players we're saying, I think as a club we've become a bit an elephant's graveyard for some certain players with the Ramsey thing. Even that Cranshaw, we're signing players that seem to be coming and they're injured and they can never get over the injury. And a fear for this boy we've signed for Hearts as well. I mean, we've signed a player that had a real history of injuries. Is he going to be any better once he signs for us, or is he going to be sitting on the bench and we never see him having the same conversations and it's a waste of money? So I think maybe they need to have a wee look at that, Rangers as a club. If Ramsey gets on the park, he gets on the park. But if the team's playing well and he can't get on the park, well, that says more about the players that are on the park, I think, than Aaron Ramsey. He's a good player. He's not a great player. When people mention him in the same sentence as guys allowed up that, he's never near them. Couldn't lace their boots. But he was a top. He was a top English Premiership player. But I don't think he's a supersonic player. But is there 8 games left of the league? 9 games?
He could still end up playing.
But I think it will be a bit part. I don't think he's not going to settle into that team and drive us over the line. I think it's too late for that for him. So I'm not really too worried about Aaron Ramsey. I'd rather our Lundstrom was playing well, our Ryan Jack was playing well, and our Rebo, he needs to kind of pull his socks up a wee bit, I think, for the run on.
He's a prick, I think, if I'm honest now. But
it's kind of difficult.
And you've got a lot of Serbs.
I was ripping the whole right out of them, like, because the other day there they were all calling it. What's the name you have to call Red Star Belgrade now? Sharon Varos or something?
Aye.
They were all going about. I'm saying, who's that? I mean, Red Star Belgrade. I'm a big Partizan fan. I have been all this week, so I got tore right in about them. But there wasn't too much said last night
But anyway, hey ho. I think it'll be difficult. I think it'll be difficult when we go there. I think they would make it difficult.
All right, listen, just the starting line up £12 million last night. 10 of that and Brian Kent and Goldson. Just shows you. I mean, you get a few wrong in the recruitment, GFK, but I think every club does it.
Of course, that's what happens. You know, I mean, you can get some donkeys and you can get some bargains, and it shows you the players we had on there last night, and compared to what that team cost, you know, and they proved in the round before that against Dortmund. I mean, it seemingly was at 200 million or something. Their team was supposedly worth. You know, at the end of the day, Oxford, it's 11 on the park, and it's who's got the hunger and the desire to win the game, and we've certainly showed that in the European games, and I just want to say be doing that in the league, showing that hunger and desire. Sometimes it doesn't seem to be there, so we need to take that on to the next level and fire on. You know, 5 possible games to be in the Champions League final or win it. Champions League, the Europa League, and then 8 games to win the Championship in Scotland. So there's a lot of good football in front of us.
And 3 for the Scottish Cup.
3 for the Scottish Cup. Sorry, I forgot about that, mate. 3 for the Scottish Cup. I was trying to be greedy there.
Can I ask you, Jimmy? Can I just ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
I mean, I watched Morelos having one of his great games for us. I have to be honest. I think there's only 2 or 3 games he's played better in. But he was absolutely outstanding. He absolutely pummeled their defenders last night. And I'm wondering, just before the end of the game, I'm thinking, are you going to see this guy leaving this summer? Morelos, I mean, because if we end up winning and getting through into the semi-finals, is it quarter-finals next, isn't it? Quarter-finals. My God, in the quarter-finals of the Europa League, you know, it's just incredible. It's incredible.
I think that's a no-brainer. I think he'll be gone. And best of luck to him in that aspect. I mean, he's 31 goals now in Europe for Rangers, you know. So look, I think he's 4th or 5th in the all-time European table. Not just Europa League, it's a Champions League as well. So no, I can't see him staying, Bridgeman, if he continues in the same vein, mate. I think that'll be determined in what he's done for us, and I think he'll go. But the money's got to be right. There's worse players than Alfredo getting sold for 40, 50 million. So there's your starting point, mate.
No, well said. Anyway, we'll be joined with Peter. Evening, Peter.
All right, everyone. How you all doing?
Hey, Peter.
Hi, good. Nice to hear from you, mate. Yeah?
And yours. Good to hear from you all.
What's on your mind, mate? What's on your mind?
I've just heard people talking about, obviously, the press conference today by Gio and not answering about Ramsey.
Mm-hmm.
The way I look at it, I think if Broncos is getting fed up and ask the same question about Ramsey all the time, because he's in the same opinion that the boys that played last night, he's hearing about them, and then all of a sudden, everyone wants to talk about in the media, is Ramsey fit? Is Ramsey playing? And he's not playing now, so I think Gio's just getting a bit fed up answering the same question all the time.
I don't disagree with you, but I know both start saying it's slightly different, Pat. Yeah, because the game's about the guys that's on the pitch, yeah?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Both star, you want to come in?
As I say, I can see it from that point of view as well. I just think up until that press of the day, he's always answered. In fact, he answered every single question. It's just that he totally deflected when they asked him about Ramsey. That's all. I just think when I'm not saying that he had to bring him on, Ox. I thought he would have made a couple of substitutions when Aribo, especially, and Lundstrom. Lundstrom, for me, the last half hour was definitely toiling. The guy was limping all over the park. He fingered to the, I don't know who the guy was. It wasn't Mackay, one of Gio's backroom staff. They were shouting to him quite a few times, as we all seen. So he was obviously carrying in the knock, you know, and I just thought he would have put somebody else on. But there you go. I mean, Peter might be right. There's maybe nothing in it. I just thought the way that Gio deflected it, I just think otherwise. But as I say, the proof of the pudding will be on whether he's on against Dundee. If he's certainly not brought on against Dundee, Ox, I think there's definitely something in it. Because obviously he's not got Lindstrom and Aribo, and he's going to need players. He's not got Arfield either, so he's going to need to bring somebody else in for midfield.
Aye, it'll be interesting to see what the team is. But aye, Peter, aye, maybe we'll see if he plays on Sunday. Yeah, mate. How did you enjoy last night?
Aye, it was good. I think we've maybe found a new position for Kamara, because that's where he plays for Finland, so I don't see why he can't play it. Yeah, he's in ball, maybe isn't the best, but he's been toiling in the holding role this year. With Jack and Lundstrom are two best, if you want to call them holding midfielders, but also box to box. I think Kamara's more suited as more, he can get more, he can do what he wants, not a free role, but he can roam about a bit more, and he's not necessarily needed to tackle, whereas Jack and Lundstrom love putting the tackles in, so it gives Kamara a wee bit more freedom. He just needs to work on his final ball at times, but that can maybe come. But Aribo as well last night, he started to tire, lost the ball a few times, but it's not natural.
I think Joe Aribo looked tired with about, I've been honest, about 25 to go, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You know, he ran his race, I thought, you know. And by the way, I've got to give you credit, and I'll go to GFK, and I'll come back to you, Peter, and then Big Al. The substitution with the two guys being booked, and again, we might see it out, made sense, GFK.
Of course it did, aye. Again, we go back to the game management of the manager. He's changing things in the time of the game. No waiting just for the sake of making a substitution like for like. He's looking at the game, he's managing the game well, he's seeing who needs to be substituted. And that's what he's there for, and he's getting it right. But he's not getting it right all the time, because he should have made more substitutions the last time. I mean, he didn't bring anybody on. I can't remember who was that against. Was it St Johnson? I think it was. He made one sub that night. So he needs to do that game by game, and make sure his substitutions are for the benefit of the team. But so far, it's been good, and that was a masterstroke what he did last night.
Yeah.
Perfect sense for me, Peter.
Aye, no, completely agree. Made his substitutions at the right time. He maybe could have made another one, as we said, with Aribo, but no, he got it spot on last night, and let's be honest, that's the way we want to see Rangers playing. But it's a difference. In Europe, they're allowed to play, whereas in the league, we still lack that cutting player that can open teams up.
Aye. You need a tin opener, or should I say a Tim opener? Winding up these two results. I know we're not through against Red Star, but against Dortmund, being a passionate Rangers supporter on the other side of the world, I know we want to win the league, but these two results must have given you a lot of pleasure when you're bumming about the Glasgow Rangers.
Oh, aye, definitely. But the league's a thing for me, and I think we've dropped the ball slightly. The games are running down a wee bit. He came in, we had a level of success when he first came in, then the wheels came off. So I don't know. Do we, if we win the UEFA Cup, do we get automatic Champions League place? Yeah.
Yep.
Aye.
Yep. But they're no seeded. But they're no seeded, Al.
No, I know, but you still got another way of getting that cash, ain't you? Because
I know. You'd rather
personally. I'd rather win the league, and I'd rather win the league and the UEFA Cup. But it's maybe a back door for us. We maybe seem to be carrying a bit of luck there in regards to the VAR and things like that. That would never have happened in a Scottish Premier League game. It would have been finished 3 each, wouldn't it? Last night, or 4-3 to the opposition. So I think Gio needs to pull his socks up. I'm a Gio fan, but I think league-wise he needs to pull his socks up. As you mentioned, Jimmy, a couple of games ago he wasn't making substitutions. We were criticising for it. Now the wheel is totally turned, and now we're praising him for making substitutions. Look, the league's the thing for me. The UEFA's a bonus. If we get to the final, where is the final? Seville. Aye. I'll be looking at flights later today just to see if I can get there. But look, I think he has to concentrate on whatever comes in Europe. As Gravy Boy says, it's all gravy. The league, I think he's still got a chance. We've still got a chance we could win the league. But he certainly made it difficult for himself. I think
it made it harder than it should have been. I mean, it should have been.
Correct.
Motherwell twice at home, Hearts at home, 6 points there, and obviously the United, when we played them off the park, we couldn't score a second goal. There's 8 points, but the team were chasing. They would say that they've dropped 5 against Livingston, so this season. So hopefully the pendulum swings over.
Oh yeah. And they dropped points before he came in. And it's never. I was talking to a mate actually yesterday, and it's never easy coming in midway through the season. I mean that's not helped us either. Change of management, so it's not all Giovanni Van Bronckhorst's fault if we don't win the league. But is he the man to then come off the back of this and win it next year? I don't know. We need to just wait and see. But positive for last night. The European thing's good. It's good for the fans. It's good for the club, monetary wise.
Good point. It's good for the finances, good for the prestige. Yeah, and we kind of get a better level of player without that money.
Oh, definitely. It helps us get to where we want to be. The finances it goes hand in hand. That goes without saying. But I just wanted to commend Gio a wee bit. 2 year goals came for corner kicks last night, but we've changed it up. We went short a few times. Jack floated it in for Morelos to finish, but then for Balogun's corner we go back to going kind of more normal. So
what a great header that was, Alex.
Oh, brilliant. But listen, that's what I've been saying quite consistently this season. We need to stop being predictable and doing the same things. It's the same with free kicks for the edge of the box. Change it about. You've got Jack that can unleash a shot for the edge of the box. How many times did we see Fergie years ago with Ray Wilkins, a wee side passing? Because then you get runners coming out. They guys, we need to change it up, and that's what I liked about last night. And also the likes of taking a by kick. I know it's simple, but we didn't play it for the back last night as often. We were hoofing it up the park and winning second balls. At least it's away for your goal then. Be a wee bit more clever. And so I just wanted to commend Gio for that last night, and obviously the tacticals. But we're going 3-5-2 to 5-2-3-1, and we're changing it mid. We're stopped being predictable. And if there's one criticism I've got to Gerard's team, as Brisbane said earlier, Gerard was just constant 4-3-3, and it was like for like every change. So we did become predictable.
Okay. JFK, the finances are really important for Europe,
The finances are good, and I probably get shocked for saying this, but it's secondary for me. Because it's all right saying that we're going to get a great run in Europe, and if we did get to the final and win it, it'd be fantastic, and get into the Europa League. But it's winning the Championship is our bread and butter. And I'm not going to compare one with the other. What would I rather win? Because I want to win everything that we're in for. But the finances are good. But the finances are no use if we end up at the end of the season winning nothing. We'll all be on here saying, well, what kind of season was that? We'll put 25 million in the bank, but we've not won anything. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of questions. That's the unanswerable at this moment in time. But the finances obviously are paramount and to go forward to allow us to bring in better players and enhance the squad.
Talking about players, mate, we've been joined by Kilmarnock. Evening, Kilmarnock.
Good evening, lads. Just trying to get myself off the mute there.
You're trying to do what I do.
Aye. I put it on as it came through, and I was trying to get it off as JFK answer stopped. Just condolences to George's AK's family and stuff like that, man. Aye, it was some character, wasn't it? Can't hang about the couch, but it was just hilarious, wasn't it?
It was comedy.
Aye, brilliant.
We might have to dig it out and play it, mate. Just the memories of George, maybe at the end of the season or something, because it was funny, But
sad. That'd be good if it's in there.
Sad day.
Aye. definitely some character, wasn't he? He was a regular, know what I mean? And it was just a laugh, wasn't he, know what I mean? He was just a riot.
Aye, exactly. One of the characters and always laughing stories. I think sometimes he exaggerated the truth, but he made us laugh, mate.
Aye. God rest him, know what I mean? But aye. The game last night, superb. Brilliant.
The man, I would have took any victory, but a 3-0 victory was above my wildest dreams.
Aye, definitely. 2-0, you're sitting thinking, how do we get here, know what I mean? Then getting that third goal, and that's a wee bit of a cushion. But the whole match was great, wasn't it? Just ups and downs, and the penalty save, and all the goals chopped off, and every time they put the ball in the net, you look across to the linesman for the flag going up, know what I mean? They're looking at their fans to laugh at them. But it was superb. Even for the start, I didn't realise what it was at the start when the Union Bears or the Brimlin done that confetti thing at the start. Do you remember that?
I've seen that.
Just the blue star. I just seen all the white. I didn't really know what was happening, but it was a cracking effect. It was only a couple of seconds. Then I seen the floaties a day. I was like, oh, that's what it was. And that was quite superb. Then first couple of minutes, we Alfie bouncing that defender off the ball, wasn't it? That was the stage set, wasn't it?
Set the tone, mate. Set the tone.
Aye, yep. My man in the match, I think, was maybe Tav. I think he done everything on the park, know what I mean? What a penalty, isn't it, right at the roof of that net, man?
Oh, what a penalty, by the way. He was lucky he slipped, didn't he?
Well, I noticed, but he did kick it there, he slipped, didn't he? So, I've never seen that before, know what I mean?
No chance, mate. I think he's three. I think he's 3 iron turned into a pitching match.
Aye. 6 inches out of the sky, in it, wasn't
it? Aye. They goalies saved
he should have went and put a lottery ticket on after he kicked that. Because that was one lucky penalty, that. Look, I'm just going to hang up, boys. I've got stuff to do, but all the best, George VK. All the best to your family, and all the best to Rangers Radio. Have a nice evening, gentlemen. Take care.
Speak to you soon, Big Al. Aye. That was a bit of luck. By the way, we got a bit of luck last night. I never forgot about that. Peter Domarnock when the penalty for Tav. You seen it getting in the top corner. Then when you seen the replay, you went, "Oh God, that you could easily slip and skate out of the bar."
Aye. But he done it, know what I mean? Again, another pressure penalty. You just think to yourself, where's he going to put it this time? That was the last place anybody thought he was going to put it. And I think AK just stole my thunder there. I was going to come on about the corners. I seen a post on Rangers Media about it. Somebody posted it. There was about 90 corners or something, but without a goal. You know what I mean? And I was thinking to myself, we need to change this up. We've stopped doing the short corners. Kent's getting there, and I know that's pulling a man out, but to me, he should be. If he shoot a short corner, he's pulling a man out there. I think Kent's more dangerous, so more quick thinking in the box. We've also got Kamara at the edge of the box, and he's not a guy that's going to hit a strike at the edge of the box. So I don't understand why he's standing at the D. But last night it was all mixed up. He definitely been practicing it. You know what I mean? The corners.
I think you looked at the game and they zonal marked. So obviously the short part, they moved them quick. Yeah. They moved them quick, and that's what they've done. And then they changed their setup in the second half when we started putting them in the box. Yeah.
Right, I never noticed that. Obviously, attacking my game. Defending is just that's kind of third-rate stuff. Defending, I don't know. I mean, attacking the goals is
when you're picking the team, you put all the diddies at the back game.
What a shocker that guy is. What a shocker.
Hey, the man will come right in her.
Aye, bang on. No, I mean, the kind of you're looking about a changing room. You're going right. There's 3 or 4 left. We need to put in here. That's so we were at school, wasn't it? And he's lost on the lineup. Pick you first. And at the end, there's the 4 defenders standing there. Know what I mean? Then they 2 get 2 in each team. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can I say something about Ramsey as well? Just while I'm...
Aye, on you go, mate, and then we'll go to JFK.
I still think Ramsey's going to come good. I'm a bit of an optimist, you know what I mean, on that. And I don't know, what did we say? Many league games, Europa Cup games, and
8 league games, Scottish. Potentially 6 Europa League games and 3 Scottish Cup ties. So you'll still get a few 17 games potentially, as potential, of course.
Aye, potential. But I think he'll come good for this after the split. I think that's when we might need him. Know what I mean? So I've not wrote him off. And you're talking about the press. I'll keep on mentioning it. They don't mention that so they can go, oh, he's a failure. So they can jump at the end of the season and go, he's a failure. He's bought a dud. And that's all they're doing. You know what I mean? They're just putting the bait out there. To put us under pressure, put our signing policy under pressure, put him under pressure to get him on the park. And as I say, it's not working for me. You know what I mean? Because I know what they're all about. But as I say, I think he will come good. I've not wrote him off by any means.
We can see through them. We can see through them, mate. They've got an agenda. Peter, they've got an agenda, haven't they? Then JFK.
Oh, aye. They always do. They just want to always make Rangers out for the bad ones all the time, but no one likes us. We don't care. No, it's always the same. Same stories, always about Rangers. They always try and criticise our transfer policy, but let's be honest, the last 3 windows they have been a bit of a failure, but not all of them, but just most of them have been. Onwards and upwards. Let's go out on Sunday and prove everybody wrong again and prove that we can go to places like Dundee after European night and put on a good result.
Yeah, we've been joined by Amanda. Evening, Amanda.
First of all, can I just say I'm so sorry to hear about George VK. I didn't know. Can I just send his condolences to his family and that? Obviously, it's quite sad to hear about his passing. No, I'm still in kind of dreamland for last night. I don't know what happened last night. Okay. Well, obviously, you know how we get into the stadium early because I'm still in the sticks. So, of course, we were there quite early and we get in about, just before 7. And, of course, the buzz was quite good getting into the stadium, but I thought, I don't know. So, we were worried about last night, but then I thought, well, why worry? We've already beat Borussia Dortmund in our 2 legs, you know what I mean? So, why are we worrying? Anyway, of course, we get in, and I was sitting there, Lassie was sitting next to me. She says, Amanda, it's a penalty. Looking at a penalty decision. I went, what? She went, it's up on the screen, they're looking at a penalty decision. I went, oh, fuck. Who's taking it? So I says, right, tell me when they scored. I didn't need to get told when they scored. But anyway, that was a great performance last night. And I just think, as the guy there says, no one likes us, and we don't care. So, let's go on Sunday and prove them all wrong that we can, as they say, go on after a European night and do something in the cup runs, you know. No, I just can't believe we beat them 3-0 last night. Honestly. And what I say to McGregor, I must say, an absolute cracking save for their penalty. I mean, to be fair, all the ones that have been coming out recently and saying McGregor's this, McGregor's that, McGregor's done, I didn't agree with it. Okay, he has his spells where I'd like him to come off his line more as well, but that's my opinion. I think he tends to stay on the line too much instead of coming out, but I'm not a goalie, so I don't know, but I just think that was a cracking save last night.
Here. GFK.
The no one likes us, we don't care line is a good one. I've always used that because nobody likes us. But the narrative at the moment is, I don't believe we carried any luck last night. But we got the decisions because they were the proper decisions. But other outlets are talking about, if it hadn't been for VAR, we wouldn't get this, we wouldn't get that. VAR's there. We can't win when we've no got VAR and we score and Alfie's offside. They're all saying that was a great decision by the linesman, but when VAR gives us goals or VAR gives us a penalty, then the narrative seems to be Rangers were fortunate to get that penalty through because it was VAR. Get your grip of yourselves, you know what I mean? Come on. And that's what they're doing to us all the time. So no one likes us, we don't care.
It's this conspiracy theory that Rangers get decisions when they've got VAR and this and that. And that. I hate that. Why can they not just admit that Rangers played well last night? You know, how can they not just be honest and say, great performance for Rangers, but no, you've got all the media that's saying, oh, well, so-and-so was only a da-da-da. I mean, my dad was saying tonight, somebody in the Times gave Cavani a 6. A 6? He had excuse me, language, he had an amazing game last night. He had a fantastic game last night. Now, how can you not just be honest and say Tav came out as a 9 or a 10 last night? Because he did. The whole team came out as a 9 or a 10 last night. Performance-wise, I think that's something to do with the Dortmund result. Because they were a tougher team again, I think great result for us.
Yeah. Amanda, we're all well aware of the press in Scotland's agenda. They should be falling on their feet for what we're doing for the whole of Scottish football. But what did they do? Did the Selwood game? Bridgeman, I'll keep you away for this one. I'll go to the game. Did the Selwood game build it up, be positive about it, or did they run it down and have no responsibility to try to make the product better? They did nothing positive apart from trying to further the agenda of one team. AK.
No, you're right, Paul. You're right. We all know that. We can all see through that. What a difference. BT Sports are drilling our Rangers results and performances in Europe. That big Martin Keown carried it on the day again into Talk Sport. He can't believe how good the atmosphere is at Ibrox, how well the players are inspired with the atmosphere, and how well we're doing. You know, we're batting well above our weight. We shouldn't be beating a Borussia Dortmund. We shouldn't be beating Red Star Belgrade, but we are. And they're pinning their hopes on, like, say, West Ham, you know, and teams like that. They're in awe. Yeah, every time they see the atmosphere, every time they see the crowd, and I've got to agree with Dominic earlier there, that display the Union Bears put up last night was fantastic. But I just want to finish with Amanda there. You're saying you're not a goalie or that, but are you a keeper?
Oh, well, I don't know, I might be. You never know, you've never met me yet, have you? On that note, I think I better go and calm myself down. Okay. Right,
is this Tinder radio?
It's not the first time you've chased a woman away, AK, is it?
See what AK's saying there about we are getting the plaudits. I mean, I watched Martin Keown and I can't remember who the other guy was sitting beside him. I watched the highlights of the games last night. But we're actually getting plaudits for down south. But it's the usual suspects up here, you know, and we all know who they are. We don't even give them a mention. We just call them what they are. It's usual suspects. But as you said, Oxy, I mean, you think they would be, giving us praise. And when they do give us praise, it's reluctant praise. You know, a great result for Rangers last night. But they were fortunate to get that penalty. That was the VAR gave them that. That wasn't a penalty, you know. And you know, that's wrong, you know, because if it had been the other side, as you well know, they'd been gushing about it. What a fantastic result. 2 mega results in the last 3 weeks at Ibrox. Borussia Dortmund and Red Star Belgrade. Absolutely wonderful, you know. And no wonder, we use the chant, no one likes us, we don't care, because we don't care. Because everything will come back and bite them, and we know what we're talking about, and we don't talk about it on here at this moment in time. But when the time is right, we will talk about it, and that will be their Valhalla, mate.
Right.
Can't disagree with that.
Dominic, real positive for the club last night, real positive for our coefficient, you know, where we were after that progress, Unicom game, and where we are now. It's remarkable, mate.
It is, aye. Some change in it, face. Gerrard did bring us on in Europe, no, I mean, there's no doubt about that. And hopefully Gio will take us that step further. It was only 2 years ago in Leverkusen, just before coronavirus kind of, well, that's when it started, when it March, and he kind of scalped us, didn't they? Home and away, you know what I mean? Leverkusen, they were just a stronger, better team than us. But we've definitely improved. The players have matured as well, haven't they, on a European stage? And I think it is about we're playing teams that play football. We're not having to break down the low block. I hate that terminology, but there is, it's 10 men behind the ball, and all they want is that one chance to score against you, one attack that they get. Well, you're pushing for a winner because they've been defending the whole game and they just want a counter attack, ball at the tap, and their two runners on to steal a point or steal the 3 points, and it's no football, is it? You know what I mean, it's no good for the game. It's no good viewing. You go out there to win a game, don't you? Regardless who you're playing. That's what we did, didn't we? We go out and win, and we try. And if you get scalped, you get scalped. You know what I mean? It's just football. As far as I'm concerned. But what about a scenario? We're winning that league, and we get to the real road to Seville, and we want an extension to the league. Can't us geese at this time?
No chance.
No chance.
Here's another scenario for you, Peter. Oh, Singe must be thinking, we've done well, we've got a sponsorship, the team that's doing everything for in Europe. I know they wouldn't be part of that last night. Want nothing to do with us. Another good job by Scottish football.
Aye.
Another great job.
Another great job. It's true, Bridge, isn't it?
Oh, listen, Oxford, I've been saying it for years and years and years. That was the biggest game in Scotland last night for a long time. Really, truly. And you know, the BBC, I know I hate these people, but the BBC ran a wee podcast. They ran a wee podcast of an evening, and I tuned into it this morning, and it was 15 minutes long. 9 minutes about Celtic, the rest of it about that game last night. That's what they did. And they just absolutely detest us. With every part of their being, they detest us. And it's just shocking. The papers, you'll get maybe a picture in the papers, and then you'll have 17 pages, 17 pictures in the papers about the other team. It's just unbelievable. Just unbelievable, seriously. And I think if only we could just break away from this mob, just break away from them. If we could get rid of the BBC or the connection with the BBC, which is the football, with SFA and so on and so forth, they must be up to their eyeballs and hot with them. Must be. Anyway, I'm away again. You've got me going.
Aye, it's a whole different argument on its own. But there's just the people running our game need to take a long, hard look at themselves for everything, for the pitches to the setup, to ticket allocation, to TV deals, to sponsorship deals. They're amateurs. But I'm sure we'll be able to talk about that, AK, during the international break. It's coming up. We've loads to talk about.
I was just want to mention a couple of stats. I know you like your stats. Dominic mentioned Bayer Leverkusen there a couple of years ago. Last night was the first time we'd won at Ibrox in the last 16 knockout. Slavia Prague beat us this year. And also Celtic.
We've never lost. We've never lost with Giovanni Van Bronckhorst as a manager in the last 16.
Yeah. The last time Celtic won a knockout game in Europe, 2004. 18 year. We've been down to the third division, come back through the leagues, qualified for Europe, and they've still not won again. 18 year.
I seen that today, mate.
That's
well, gentlemen. The coefficient killers. Well, Peter, hope you enjoyed it, mate. Good to hear from you again.
Yeah, it was good.
Well done, mate. Thanks for the call. You stay safe.
No, good to speak to everybody and stay safe and enjoy the game of the weekend.
Cheers,
Peter.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, buddy.
Tom Arnock.
Aye, thanks for having us, guys. 4 o'clock Sunday, innit? Is that, what channel is that on?
Did you call it? Premier?
Satanta.
Right, Satanta Island.
Satanta.
That's what it is, really.
That's about right. Satanta Island.
He's pretty right,
AK. Pleasure as always, guys. Enjoyed the chat, and again, condolences to George Fisco-Bryce family. Fly high, pal.
Yeah.
Not paid now.
Yep. JFK.
Yeah, it was good to be back in amongst all my good friends here on Rangers Radio. Really enjoyed it. Looking forward to being back on again in the very near future. Thank yourself and Bridgeman for having me tonight. Just before I go, just like again to pass on my condolences to George EK and his family. Fly high, George. Gone but not forgotten, pal. And I'll think about you when I go and buy my next sofa.
Yeah, before I go to Bridgeman, Southside sent his team in. McLaughlin, Tavernier, Golson, Bassey, Borner, Jack Sands, Sakala, Kamara, Kent, and Alfie. That's his team.
Wow.
That means it's not going to be that. Bridgeman.
You're a shocker, man. No, listen, I'd like to add my name to what Jimmy said there, and condolences for George. Seriously. You have to find, you guys up the techie team, have to find these things about George and the laughs he gave us. Just fabulous, seriously. We're going to just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, I'd like to thank JFK for being my partner tonight. Single source, JFK, thank you. I've said that. I've got two sleeps now. I'm looking forward to the game. So every single one of us need to get in there, support our team. Let's be Rangers. Keep it going for the Rangers because they need us. Keep it going.
Thanks to all the callers tonight. Great to hear from Peter and John earlier on. Of course, Amanda, Blue Star, EK, Delarnock. I hope I've not missed anybody out. But of course, the show tonight is all about George for EK, gone but not forgotten. And on it, once again, all our condolences and sympathy for everybody here at Rangers Radio, to George's family and friends. Thanks for listening. We'll be back with a pre-match show on Sunday when we'll be joined by Young GB. Thanks for listening. Stay safe. Take it away. Old School Blue.
Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. Football is the game that we play all over the world. Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. We can show the world how to play, for we are Rangers, okay. Won't you come and cheer us? Help the boys along. White and blue, coming through with a song. Oh, Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. Football is the game that we play all over the world. Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. We can show the world how to play, for we are Rangers, okay. We'll be there to do it, do it if we can. Win the cup, hold it up in our hand. Oh, Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. Football is the game that we play all over the world. Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. We can show the world how to play, for we are Rangers, okay.